Hey guys, so I managed to get my hands on this little action cam from ODRVM. I'll put the link in the description so you can go check it out. It's a cheap GoPro knockoff, but I thought I'd test it out just because I used to have the same impression that most people do about these kind of cheaper knockoff cameras, which is they're cheap and they don't work and they're not worth it, and you might as well just go buy a regular one. So I tested it out and I was actually pretty surprised, but not in the way you might think. So full disclosure, the company that makes this camera did give it to me for free to review, but I'm gonna be completely honest and tell you what I really think about it. So starting off with pros and cons. The first pro is the price. This bundle was 60 bucks. It included the camera, and this leads right into the second pro, which is it comes with a ton of accessories. You can mount it to a bike, you can mount it to a windshield, you can pretty much mount it anywhere you want. I'll show you all the accessories that come with it right here. And the great part about the accessories is that they actually all work with the kind of standard GoPro clips, so you can use these with all your regular GoPro equipment that you already have. It also has great image quality for 1080p. It's actual true 1080p, so it's not like some cameras say we have 1080p and then you fire it up and it's all grainy and it's not really 1080p. That's not the case here. This is real 1080p, and I was pretty happy with that. I expected it to be a lesser quality 1080p, but it's not. It's good. And that kind of goes hand in hand with they do like a really good native color, so they have the color adjusted already in the processor for the camera. So when you go back and watch the video, there's some automatic color grading that's already been done. And if you're not somebody who gets super deep into color grading and adjusting the exposure and things like that, it actually does the work for you and it comes out very bright, very vibrant. And then probably the biggest thing for me was, and the thing I was most surprised by, was the ease of use. I did not expect this camera to be intuitive. It actually was though. It largely functions in the same way, the buttons operate the same way that you would expect from something like a GoPro. You know, the power on, power off, start recording, stop recording, menu buttons, menu selection, things like that are all where you'd expect them to be. You don't have to spend hours reading through the user's guide. You can just jump right in and start recording like I did, and it was really easy. So on the negative side, there's actually fewer than I thought there were going to be. So the first thing that struck me was that I was an idiot and I didn't check to see if there was a micro SD card included in the camera. I just assumed there was one. There is not a micro SD card included with this bundle. And I was actually going to do the footage I'll show you in a minute. I was going to do it at the Del Mar racetrack, but I took it all the way down to the racetrack and it didn't have a micro SD card in it. So that was kind of a bummer. Just something to be aware of if you buy this, that it doesn't come with a micro SD card. Next thing is that this camera does have image stabilization, but it's not quite as good as a GoPro. It's great that it has it, but it does eliminate a lot of the kind of shutter and shake. But like I said, it's not as good as a GoPro. You're still gonna get a little bit of that, but it is still vastly superior to just a standard handheld camera that doesn't have stabilization. The sound quality is actually not great on this camera, and I understand it's an action cam and sound quality isn't really one of the things that people typically look for in an action camera, but if you are gonna try to use this for kind of intermittent vlogging or something where you wanna take it out with you in the water or somewhere where you wouldn't wanna take a big expensive DSLR, don't expect good sound quality from this because it's honestly not good. I think the challenge for this camera is just lack of features. For 60 bucks, you're not gonna get a whole lot. So it doesn't have 4K. It only shoots at a max of 30 frames per second. So you're not gonna get 120 FPS to get those super buttery slow-mos that you see some of these guys doing. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and roll the footage. Okay, so as you can see, the color looks really great. The image quality is good. It's legit 1080p. The question is, would I buy one of these for myself and use it? Honest answer, not as my primary camera. I already have a brand new GoPro. I've got a great DSLR and a couple other good cameras that I'm using, but I will say that I am going to use this camera as like a secondary camera. Say for example, somewhere I want to mount it somewhere that I'm afraid it might fall off, and I don't want to lose my $400 GoPro, or I'm afraid it's going to get smacked on something and break. So ultimate conclusion, I think it's a great camera for the money. It's definitely not going to keep up with GoPro in terms of features or quality. I don't know how long it lasts. I've only had it for a week, but bottom line, video quality is really good at 1080p, and that's mainly what you're going to be looking for when you're buying an action camera. Well, that's going to do it. I hope this was helpful. I do make new videos every week, so be sure to hit subscribe for more videos on tech, vlogs, and more. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.